Wrestling with Regrethausen. Danhausen wants to tell you to be watching so you can see the review of See No Evil 2 starring KANE. KANE, Danhausen's favorite wrestler. There will be Thrillhausens, Chillhausens, and special guest houses. Watch Wrestling with Regret. Danhausen says so. Love that Regrethausen. Love that Danhausen.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a special Halloween edition of Wrestling with Regret. And look how I decorated. In honor of the holiday, we're talking about one of my all-time favorite big men in wrestling, KANE. Perhaps no other character has been beset with such a strange journey over the last 20 years. We all know about his memorable debut in 1997, followed up with one of the best first years in the World Wrestling Federation, fighting The Undertaker at WrestleMania, working an Inferno match, all capped off with a fleeting yet dramatic WWF Championship reign. But as time went on, they began to chip away at his mystique. He'd lose big match after big match, go through about 24 inexplicable face and heel turns over his career, and his captivating backstory would be retconned over and over again, not just on television, but in print as well. Yet somehow, the Big Red Machine was able to overcome every single lame storyline, character change, or plot twist that was thrown at him. It's no wonder the guy's taken to local politics so well. Compared to life in WWE, that world's a cakewalk. But KANE hasn't just been a force in the ring, but on film as well. 3 years ago, I reviewed 2006's See No Evil, KANE's first starring role in a motion picture. In it, Mayor KANE played the role of Jacob Goodnight, a deranged, murderous brute who had a penchant for gouging out his victims' eyes. And after all that grayscaling, yes please. All that movie gave us was a storyline that tied in with the film's release date, ending with a lame twist that was originally meant to signal the end of Glenn Jacobs' career, but oh how wrong we all were.
And new 24/7 champion! I still got it!
Anyway, KANE's character died a monster's death in the end, and it seemed like that was the end of that. But lo, a mere 8 years later, we were gifted the squeakquel See No Evil 2, where we see Mr. Goodnight's story continue immediately following the events of the first movie. It's the fourth film directed by the Soska sisters, a pair of twins who are highly regarded in the horror genre, so on the surface, things look to be in good hands. In one of the special features on the DVD, Jen Soska goes as far as to say that Jacob Goodnight's a character destined for horror icon status on the level of the big boys. That's a damn lofty goal. So will we see the icon emerge in this, long-awaited sequel? We're about to find out.
Good afternoon, Scamp. Any chance I'm back for this movie too?
Sorry, Flicky, no flies in this one either.
Ah, bullshit.
The opening credits show us clips of what I can only assume, based on the music they're playing, is a sexy-ass morgue. Damn, I'm feeling the groove. Cool place to party. Hey, that's them. That's the Soska sisters. Just want to make sure that was obvious. We meet the heroes of this picture, Seth and Amy. When I say their names out loud, it kind of reminds me of Seth Meyers and Amy Poehler when they were on Weekend Update. I kind of wish I was watching that right about now.
You know, you can take off now if you want to.
It's Amy's birthday, and Seth gets her a pretty sweet-ass cake to celebrate. Seth has a huge crush on his coworker, but is too nervous to ask her out, which their boss Holden busts his balls over.
Stop, don't be a dick. Stop. Amy, put it in. Amy, put it in.
I would question why he would tell the girl to put it in, but far be it for me to kink shame. Holden is played by an actor named Michael Eklund, who I was at first convinced was related to the actor who played Freddy Krueger, until I realized that's Robert Englund, not the same guy. Amy is about to clock out so she can celebrate her birthday with some friends until we get some breaking exposition.
9 fresh bodies. But police reports now indicate that dozens more in various stages of decay.
The morgue is about to get an influx of dead Australian actors and one allegedly dead serial killer. Come on, KANE, why do you gotta steal Gangrel's gimmick like that? All the extra bodies means extra work, so like a Dave Meltzer report, Amy's plans have changed. Or have they? Meet all the future victims. There's Tamara, Amy's best friend and true crime aficionado, Kayla, who is blonde, Carter, who wears a hat, I think, and Will, Amy's brother, whose chiseled features look so pale, I think he stumbled off the set of Twilight by mistake. The friends somehow predicted that Amy was going to work a double shift, so they brought the birthday party to her. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Did you see that shadow move in the background? Yes! Oh, man. Do you think Jacob's already risen from the dead and just lurking around now? That's why I hate horror movies. All this tension. I'm so spooked now.
Brian, there is nothing to be scared of.
Oh, hey everyone. It's our first guest, RJ City. Thanks for coming by, man. But, aren't you forgetting something?
Wait, what's that?
Well, I thought we all agreed we were going to be in costume for this review. Where's your Wolfman costume from Monster Brawl?
Oh, actually, I donated it to a Planet Hollywood in Chicago. It's in a glass case now. It's lovely. I can get you a discount on some apps if you want to go see it. What are you supposed to be dressed as?
Bobby Heenan? Bash at the Beach 96? I thought that was obvious.
You know what? I don't really see it. I'm kind of getting a more Stagger Lee Marshall kind of vibe. Anyway, the shadows in the background, that's what you're afraid of? That's not horror, my friend. You know, horror is when you want to binge watch Maude followed by a whole season of The Golden Girls and you get home and your internet's not working and the only thing that's on TV is that Night Court episode where the guy has tortoise nervosa and he keeps moving in very slow motion. That's horror, my friend. This, not so much.
Oh, God, we've all been there, man. Back to the matter at hand, I hope you like establishing shots of empty hallways because the first third of the movie's got tons of them. We see some tension between Will and Amy, as Will tells Seth he's no good for his sister, and he thinks she deserves better than to work at this incredibly unprofessional morgue and should get back into med school.
You think that you know what's best for me? But it has always been me taking care of me, and you, of all people, you know that!
And now, as is tradition in slasher movies, it's time to set in motion the symbolic punishment for wanton behavior. We begin with Carter and Tamara, who is way more into Jacob Goodnight than one should be. Again, not gonna kink shame.
Oh. Tamara, what the fuck are you doing?
Man, even when he's dead, Kane's able to score some tail. According to the Wikipedia page for this movie, quote, the experience of being in a room with the body of a real murderer arouses her, and she and Carter begin to have sex. Took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know if it's the smell of formaldehyde in the air or what, but the hormones really get flowing now, as elsewhere, Kayla asks Will why he doesn't respond to her advances.
You're like a sister to me.
Well, he already has a complicated relationship with his real sister, so might as well go 2 for 2. I learned the actress who plays Kayla also had a bit part in another movie I reviewed, Christmas Bounty. And like April Tellick, who played the mother in that movie, this actress has also been in a lot of made-for-TV Christmas movies. Is that just a thing actors can specialize in? As Tamara and Carter are in the middle of their extremely aggressive coitus, Glenn Jacobs Goodnight vanishes from his gurney and cuts the lights of the room.
Did you hear that?
Jacob likes to watch. As a horrified Tamara is able to escape for the time being, Jacob finds the body of his mother, the woman who conditioned him into becoming a killer since childhood. I'll say this, she looks pretty good for someone whose head was impaled just a few hours earlier, and wouldn't you know it, her hair, body, and face look totally different too. Are you sure you found the right body, pal? Goodnight then suits up, donning a rubber apron, as well as a mask that was found on a burn victim earlier in the movie. Well, it's nice that he cleaned up a little bit. I mean, sure, he's a psychotic undead killing machine, but the man still has standards. Must bring back some fond childhood memories with Papa Paul. The gang hears Tamara screaming in the distance and try and look for her. Holden's the first to encounter Jacob and tries to flee, but sadly, his acceleration stats are too low. As Amy, Kayla, and Will look for their friends, they find Carter's body in one of the drawers. Once again, props to Jacob for showing some decorum around here.
The power blows.
Oh man, this trope always gets me. When the killer shuts the power off the building and everyone's in the dark. I hate the dark, I hate it! Oh no! Now I'm in the dark too! I'm scared! Mommy! Daddy!
Hey now, did somebody say daddy?
Oh, thank God, the lights are back up. And hey, everyone, it's our next guest, Effie, and damn it, dude, why aren't you in costume?
I'm Effie. What more do you need?
Okay, that makes sense. I'll give you a pass.
Brian, there's no need to be afraid of the dark, no matter what Nickelodeon tried to tell us when we were kids. Real fear is running out of lubricant when you're in an Iron Man submission session with your tag partner. Now, get back to your little review, and this Boris Johnson costume? Creative.
After a whole mess of real scares with Jacob, we then get 2 fake outs within a minute of each other. This one in particular is the silliest. Now, how could Tamara, who couldn't stop screaming 5 minutes ago, suddenly be a stealthy ninja cat and surprise the rest of the group? I could rag on horror logic all day, but the woman who plays Tamara does some great acting here.
Jacob Goodnight is dead.
No, it was him.
He's a goddamn corpse. It's him.
He gotta. Well, Carter and I were,
Oh my God, are you kidding me? You did it in the morgue?
I thought he was dead.
If this scene is meant to be played for laughs, then it is working. After putzing about the morgue on his own, Seth finally and very calmly encounters Jacob.
What the hell? What the hell?
Oh, come on, did they just wax the floors in this mortuary? Did somebody release a vertigo toxin in the air vents? Why do slasher victims always have the hardest time running away? Soon after reuniting, the gang is split up again as Jacob shockmasters his way through every door he could find. Eventually, Blonde Lady's all by herself, and I think you all know where this one's headed.
Hey, Kayla!
As Kayla chokes on her own blood, Jacob has another motherly flashback. He tries to fight the evil that was beaten into him as a child, but his mind is too far gone.
Why would God help you? You're a dirty whore!
Twitter. The remaining foursome are in a pair of adjacent rooms as Jacob lurks after them. Even Tam Tam knows the jig is up.
It's a terrible hiding spot.
Tamara makes a break for it after Amy provides a distraction, but... that's not so bad. Just, it's a little scrape. A little scratch, just put a little dab of Neosporin on that thing and oh God, never mind. Will sacrifices himself long enough for Seth and Amy to try and escape. They discover that Jacob's bound Kayla to the wall with chains because, I guess it looks cool. Then they go back and try and rescue Amy's brother.
We're gonna get you out of this.
It's a trap!
After that gruesome scene, Seth is hit with a saw as well, but is able to escape. He and Amy collect themselves in the movie's first real emotional scene, then the two narrowly escape goodnight yet again before they head back up some stairs. But hang on, whose blood is that? It was not there before they went up. Are they walking into another trap? Oh God, the suspense is too much. I can't take it anymore!
Hey! Listen up, Brian! This is no time for being afraid!
Hey everybody, it's our final guest, Warhorse. Look man, I am on the brink here, okay?
You can't let fear control your life, Brian. Otherwise, you will never defeat the forces of evil. You gotta confront that anxiety. You gotta fight that fear. You gotta rule ass on all the darkness that threatens your way of existence. Jacob Goodnight is not ready for the Warhorse and all his raw horsepower.
Damn, that was intense, but I think I needed to hear that, so thanks, Warhorse. I'm ready to tackle the end of this review.
No problem, Zane! Oh, and by the way, Warhorse really likes that Bobby Heenan costume you got on.
Really? You got what I was going for with this?
Are you kidding? Bash at the Beach 96 is an all-time classic look for the brain.
Finally, someone who gets it. You know what? Thank you for showing up in costume too. That is a great Ultimate Warrior.
Ultra what? I oughta snap your neck 6 ways from Sunday. You watch your ass, Zane, cause Warhorse is gonna rule it.
Okay, I've clearly said too much.
If we have to run, can you?
Well, I don't know. The guy could barely run when he was healthy. The two are able to keep Jacob at bay long enough for Amy to cauterize Seth's wound, which despite the fact the saw came down hard across his entire trap muscle and collarbone, can be totally healed in one singular spot. Oh, and by the way, seen it! We get some more deep conversation between the two, and Seth wants to know just why did Amy quit med school?
Because we all end up here. No matter what you do, we all die.
Okay, that's true. That is true. But you know, some of us can die doctors. Eh? Amy tries to escape through the window, but Jacob's waiting outside. Around to the side exit they go, when suddenly... Oh, come on, are you kidding me? It's one thing to be able to move quickly when you know the layout of the area, like how Jacob knew the Blackwater Hotel so well in the last movie, but this is a whole new space. There's no way he's already figured out the lay of the land. How can the guy move around that quickly when he walks like that? So Amy, the presumed hero of this picture, is dead. We get one final confrontation between Seth and Jacob, the former getting his ass kicked. We even get this shot of a bunch of chemicals spilling all over the place, shot in super slow-mo so you can understand the significance. Wait a minute. These people have been in a mortuary surrounded by chemicals and sharp tools. Why is it taking you this long to use them? Sure enough, Seth stabs Jacob in the gut with a hose, then fills him with embalming fluid. Ugh, looks like when one of my kids squeezes their juice box too hard. And so, having redisposed of the monster, our hero exits stage right. Or does he? Ah, he did it! He finally did the eye thing! I've been waiting for that all movie! With all the characters dead, the film ends with Jacob Goodnight standing over his mother's corpse, finally succumbing to the evil within. You could say he embraced the hate. And that was See No Evil 2. 8 years late and $1 short. Crazy, the only place KANE can win a feud is in the movies. Ever since I reviewed the first See No Evil, I was told the sequel was way better. After finally watching it, I agree with them, but it's not by much. As a standalone slasher film, it's okay if not overly ambitious. But as a sequel, especially one that takes place in the same time frame as the last movie, it adds almost nothing to the lore of Jacob's character and does nothing with the formula of the medium. It feels like we've seen this already, but in darker colors. After watching this movie, does Jacob become more of a horror icon like Jen Soska hoped he'd be? What do we know about him after this one that we didn't learn from the first movie? So he's an invincible killing machine with a mommy complex. Way to go, you and just about every other slasher villain in history. A double-edged sword I found with this movie was, unlike its predecessor, they didn't lay it on thick with the spooky editing, the gritty color correction, your standard fare of the mid-2000s. In general, the sequel is a lot nicer to look at, and sometimes those flashbacks are hard to watch in contrast. But the overall cleanliness can also be a problem. The thing is, it's almost too cut and dry. Instead of trying to meet in the middle of two extremes, it went with the safest aesthetic option, so nothing really stood out. There were some good gore effects near the end, and the actress who played Amy did a great job, but besides that, the whole thing felt pretty by the numbers. If you enjoyed KANE's work in the first film, then you might get a kick out of See No Evil 2. But if your standards for horror are higher than average, you can probably pass on it. If anything, what makes this a superior film of the two is its existence didn't lead to another moment like this one. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you like it, comment below, subscribe to Wrestling with Regret, and buy the t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com. I'm Brian Zane, and happy Halloween, humanoids!
Hey, wait, I'm here to start the review. Oh, looks like you already finished it without me. All right, I guess I'll go over here and cry myself to sleep again.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.